Hey everybody, it's Mr. Cognetti from Citizenship Academy, and today for our warm-up video I want to just go over a little bit about what we learned yesterday, so that's fresh in our heads when we're talking about our new stuff today. So we learned about some two-dimensional shapes and what characteristics make them that shape. So we learned about a triangle, a hexagon, a trapezoid, a rectangle, and I believe a rhombus. So I want to practice drawing those. I know you guys had some practice with that yesterday, so you're just going to do them with me right up on my board and on your piece of paper while we do them here, okay? So a triangle. Our triangle is the first one. Remember, that has 3 straight sides and 3 corners. So I'm going to start with a flat line on the bottom, and I'm going to draw a line up to the top, and then from that point all the way down to there, okay? So mine's a little curved. It shouldn't be curved, but hey, no one's perfect, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3 corners and 1, 2, 3 sides, okay? So that's our triangle. So try and draw one of those if you haven't already. All right, now for our next shape. Our next shape is a hexagon. Remember, hex means 6. So a hexagon has 6 sides, okay? Now this one's kind of tricky to draw. So watch me draw this one, okay? And then, or I'll do it step by step, and then you can do it as well. So to start, I want to start with a straight line up top and a straight line on the bottom, the same size, okay? So do that now. Then after you have those 2 lines, you're going to start from one. And you're going to imagine there's something like halfway in between these 2 lines. You're going to draw a line to there, and then a straight line to there. So it's kind of like it comes to a point, okay? You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Imagine there's a point right there that you draw to, and then we come down. That's our hexagon. Mine's not perfect. But 1 second, you probably hear my barking. Okay, sorry. Now I know that's not perfect, but hey, we can't draw perfect shapes. We're not the best at that. Now, this is a hexagon. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. And how many corners? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners, okay? And remember, hex means 6. So if you know what that means, you're going to remember how many sides a hexagon has. Now our next shape is going to be a rectangle. While I'm erasing this, why don't you go ahead and try and draw one, because those are a little bit easier. Alright, let me explain how I like to draw rectangles. Just like the hexagon, we start with 2 straight lines. One on the top, one on the bottom. And this is the part where it's a little easier in a hexagon. This, you just connect those lines with a straight up and down line. And there we have our rectangle, okay? Next, I want to draw a square. Now I'm going to leave my rectangle up here because it's very similar to a square, but I want you to see the difference, okay? Rectangle, these 2 sides are the same length, and these 2 sides are the same length. With a square, all the sides need to be the same length. Okay, so if I draw, now I'm going to do my best to make sure every side is the same length. And that's how we make a square. Now are those perfect and exactly the same length? Probably not, because I'm not measuring right now. But we couldn't tell unless we did measure them. So that is a square where all the sides are the same length. Our last picture we have 2 more. Our next one, which I'm going to show up there with the square, so let me erase my rectangle. Our next one is a rhombus. Some people call rhombuses diamonds, but the mathematical term is rhombus, and that's what we're going to call them right now. So a rhombus is very similar to a square. It's a closed shape and it has 4 straight sides that are all the same length. But we don't necessarily have the same type of corners as we do with a square. A rhombus, it's a little tougher to draw. I like to draw part of a triangle and then kind of an upside down triangle right here without that middle piece. That's a rhombus. All these sides are very close to being the same length. Again, I'm not perfect. I don't know if they're exact, but they look the same length, and that's what we're going with right now. So that's a rhombus. Now a rhombus could be a little fatter. See how this one is kind of thinner and this one's shorter and fatter? You could have one that's super long. Okay, just as long as all the sides are the same length. Those are rhombuses. Guess, again, I'm going to keep repeating this, but I'm no artist. Okay, your drawings I'm sure are way better than mine, but that's what a rhombus is going to look like. And our last one is a trapezoid. Say that one with me, that one's tough to say. Trapezoid. Now, this one might be hard to draw when you're first looking at it, but let me break it down into 2 steps. First, I want you to draw a short straight line across from one side to the other. Then your next line, you're going to go beneath it, and you're going to start, and it's going to be a longer line, okay? So you have a short one on top and a long one on the bottom. Then you're just going to connect these 2 lines with straight lines. Okay, so you're going to start here, connect to there. Up top, connect to the bottom. And that is a trapezoid, okay? Again, another shape with 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. But we have different length sides. The top and the bottom aren't the same length. These 2 sides might be the same length, or they are the same length, but not all the sides are the same length, okay? So that is a trapezoid. All right, you should have a page full of pictures, or you should have practice drawing each one. We're all warmed up, we're thinking shapes. Great job. Head on over to the main lesson video and I'll introduce you to some new shapes today. All right? I'll see you over there. Bye, guys.